Hello, and welcome to Cameron Reviews. Negative Feedback is a book from the online Negative Feedback boys, and it's a zine size. It's a nice size, nice quality. I know the Negative Feedback are on Twitter and they publish this sort of stuff themselves. They also have a YouTube channel which is about photography and books and all sorts of stuff. It's a nice little place. I visit it often. I'm not stealing my concept from them. I don't need to. Find this as a nice release for me. It's a nice way to just get something out about my photography, understanding. I'm not great often at explaining myself and what I'm doing. I'm very visual in the way I work and the way I sort of do things in my life, and I'm going to start incorporating that a lot more in this YouTube channel. So yeah, the Negative Feedback boys do. I sort of do a similar channel to them in terms of the books and things like that, but that's great. Anyway, this, I don't know how many pages in this. It's there's a few. I'd like to guess 30, 40. It's a nice thick. I don't know if you can get this. I don't know where I got this. I've seen one for sale on their website. It's about £12. So let's have a quick look through it. I think they choose a group of photographers they want to showcase. And editor is George Munsey, design up for additional curation, Tim Pallman. This guy here, George, he leads this YouTube channel, and yeah, it's a nice channel. He seems like a good kid, and I'd love them to promote my website, and I'll promote their website. So maybe one day, George, you might see this and give us a mention on your channel and help me boost up a little bit, because I'm definitely not in competition with you. I think we work hand in hand on these things, and you've inspired me to do some things and try to get my knowledge out there a little bit, and I'm learning. Every video I'm learning something new. I'm trying to develop and make it better. So this YouTube video channel thing is hard work, and you're putting yourself on the line for criticism, but I can take that. So I'm having fun doing it, and I think the boys from Negative Feedback have been, even I'm an old man, have been really inspirational to me to sort of say, well, they're doing it, I can do it, and I think eventually you'll see that I've got a lot to say. Anyway, I'm going to run through this really quickly. I'll put a link to these guys, their website, and I think a student of mine once gave me this, and I think it was Ben Hart. So Ben, if you're listening, I've got it. Okay. Let's run through it. So we've got Sunday El Rancho by Damien Maloney. It's got a lovely, somewhat, is it luster? It might be luster. It's sort of like it's like a glossy, it's just like a sheen on it. And it's not matte, I think it's luster. I'm curious about how my father lives, how he's constantly at work, calling me to tell me about some beach town he's eating the best steak, where are the best things for father and his son to do together. The word is very different. His world is very different from my world. So it's interesting visual log of his dad, a sort of insight, maybe answering questions about his dad and what he does, and getting some relevance on it and getting some understanding of what his dad does when he's away from him. And just like, little significant things, like symbolic things of your dad. And like, I have my granddad's watch, which I remember as a kid seeing it on my granddad's wrist, and it will always sort of remind me of my dad. And I've got it my granddad, and I've got it tucked away, and I've got my grandmother's ring, and it's sort of symbolic things. So I get where this is coming from a little bit. I might be wrong in my interpretation of it though. Americano Lee Stock. It's a formulation of stock shot while working in Massachusetts for roughly 4 months. It's a social document of the classic American dream, or at least what the photographer was exposed to. Okay, I haven't gone into that too deep, but sort of, okay, I get this, all right. Yeah, the reality of urban living around the boys. Water bottle, or probably gin. I presume this is alcohol. They all look a bit flustered, so maybe, again, it's night time. I presume it could be alcohol. They don't, probably under 21 as well. It's quite abstract. It's not bad. It's nice. It's okay. It's a lovely, beautiful little book, though. I'm really impressed with this. It's sort of perfect bound finish. Notes from a country town, Laurence Watts, hook up with a local. Notes from a Country Town is a photographic series from Laurence Watts, shot during 10 days spent in a nondescript town in rural New South Wales in Australia. All right, so it's just a travel log and observations. Yeah, I like this sort of thing. A lot of verticals. I like this, it's interesting. What's good about this is, you know, a lot of us are passers-by in terms of our daily life, and something like what Laurence has done, he sort of stopped in his tracks and he's tried to sort of see the things we miss every day, the little signs on there, all of this advertising and the missing dog. And I like that sort of view of the world as well. I'm always looking for things, I'm always looking out for things, and just, you know, odd shapes and with a curtain written on there. I'm sure there's something hidden in here somewhere. And it might have been a random guy who stopped, it might be a self-portrait, and things like probably a memorial for the dead. Do not worry, be happy. I like that. I think it's an interesting attempt. It's a snapshot, it's a symbolic sign and symbolisation of the town with a lot of text which we may be hidden. Interesting. Wellard, Tim Pallman. Quite a bit of text, I'll just brief on it. Willard's a documentary series interrogates the global rise of the private estate in a specifically Western Australia context. Okay, so private land, private estate, I guess it's enclosed, new developments, good layer texture there. Sorry, layer texture there, it's interesting. A bit more abstract. I quite like, love that opening shot, it's sort of set in the scene and it's got a bit abstract, I like that, that's interesting. Something very sort of Alex Sothy type feel to this. I like that. That's interesting. It's nice. That sort of new development, new town, sort of greenbelt area feel to it. The pool, various artists. Because I'm not sure what this is about yet, or what the pool means. I like this. This is my sort of feel, my sort of stuff. Tibetan Everest, I presume. I wonder if that's Everest, I might be wrong. Oh, these are nice. I like this. Nice sort of ambiguity to it. That's nice. Reminds me of sort of early Parr. I don't know anything about this. Or maybe the pool means the best of the rest, maybe. I like that. I like that. I'm quite into abstract stuff at the minute, and I like stuff which is caught in the moment and caught from something. A little bit what Laurence was doing. Cigarette butts, by the looks of it. I like this. Not easy places to shoot. This, you know, I think we forget how we're so used to looking at things in our country, we take such things for granted, and getting into a state and doing stuff, and it can be so difficult to shoot and make it look really interesting because it's stuff we see, it's part of our culture. Maybe sort of people from outside the UK are fascinated by it, and like we are with other people's stuff around the world, but to make it's just a shame to make interesting work in England. You've got to really push hard, you know. I love the shots, great composition, a lot going on. Love the thirds, love the foreground, the three planes. It's good composition, nicely shot. But I'm a bit surprised there's no. Oh yes, there is now. The pool of various artists. See, I knew that without reading it. This gives an insight into the photographs. Yeah, I love it. I love the colour. Published by Negative Feedback. I will find some links. You can definitely get new stuff from their website. You can go and check our YouTube channel out. If you go onto the YouTube channel, check it out, mention my channel and get me some exposure, because I have got nothing compared to them. Anyway, thank you. Thanks for listening.